Yes,
it's here.
We got it. Maybe not 3 weeks early like the big YouTube channels, but we got it a day early thanks to a hookup. If you're watching, thank you.
It's so
pretty
heavy.
Exciting. Yeah.
So heavy.
Do your workout with it. All right. In the grim darkness of the far future, there's only war. At least they didn't change the main motto. I like that there's still fluff and a reason that there's only war, not like AOS where it's just like we float around in space and we're all gods.
Right.
And
sometimes we fight.
On bubbles, yeah. Today we're going to do a unboxing and our little initial thoughts, our favorite things in the box. Just going to get right to it. Nick and Noah, Beer and Bat Reps, thank you for joining us. I hope you're as excited as we are, and I hope you got a copy before they all sold out in like a minute.
Real quick.
So, stay tuned. Here we go. Okay, here it is. Indomitus. What everyone's been waiting for. First thing I noticed, and I handed right to Noah, is how heavy it is. It's hilarious. If you got this shipped, I feel bad for it. I guess you couldn't really. You couldn't ship this to your house, right? You had to ship it to a store?
Yeah, I think that's how they do it. Yeah.
So we got the new font with the R going over the line that everyone freaked out about online. It still is. They didn't fix it. I don't know if you ever saw that R goes over the border.
No.
It's hilarious. All the people with anxiety and OCD people online were a little freaked out that the R goes over the line, but nothing else does.
Perfect.
Stretch it a little further, GW. It's not too hard. Anyway, the cover's amazing. Really, really creepy Space Marine guy in the front.
Yeah.
I would have thought that was Chaos Space Marine the way he's looking, but they're ready to fight these days. Everything's grim dark, right? Flip this sucker over. Alright. We'll zoom in here for you. So as you can see, get these awesome new Space Marines.
Oh, yeah.
Primaris Captain, just showing his shield off. Bladeguard Veterans Sergeant, instead of showing you the Lieutenant. They put this guy up there.
Interesting. The Lieutenant made the front, so.
That's right, yeah, that's a good point. We got the Skorpek? I'd like to know how they pronounce it.
I think that's it.
Skorpekh Destroyer.
Skorpek, yeah.
And then the new Overlord model, which is pretty awesome. I mean, it's such a good model, but even as a Necro player, I probably wouldn't have bought a new Overlord model on its own. So now I just get a new one. I'm down. That's awesome. So we started looking at this. It comes with a 368-page Warhammer core rulebook, of course. 24-page booklet, Edge of Silence. 20-page assembly guide, Space Marine transfer sheet, like we all don't have mountains of those.
Yeah, I think I have a few pounds of those.
Although, for all you new players, enjoy. It's your first transfer sheet. Have fun learning how to use those.
Yeah, or just don't.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Box content, 61 miniatures. It almost seems like more, but nowadays...
I mean, that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a heavy, heavy box.
Like, if you just priced it out per model, it's like $3.25 a model. So that's pretty cheap as far as Warhammer goes. So it's pretty good.
They have you asking you to join the community. They're starting to really be online a little more. Obviously, if you're up on things, you know Warhammer community does their own leaks basically, and it's fun to keep up with that. But now for the new app that supposedly dropped today.
I downloaded it. It's basically it's what had already kind of leaked. You get the free rules. I only looked at it for a few minutes, but you basically got to pay. And I think their idea is in the new codexes, they'll give you a code, or all the new books.
Yeah.
Give you a code to unlock all that stuff. So it's kind of cool because I've always thought codexes and stuff were priced well enough that they shouldn't sell you an e-copy as well. It's like, no, man, you should give me both.
You should give me both.
And I think they kind of do that now. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited for them to develop the app.
I haven't downloaded it, but what I read online was that for now they just have like a Google spreadsheet of the rules like on the app because they don't have...
Oh yeah, I didn't look at it. The
app isn't like fully done yet, and a lot of people want it on iOS. Apparently it's not out yet. Speaking of, we'll just move right past dogging on GW and get back to being excited on it. Here we go. Open this sucker up. Like I said, if our friend that hooked us up with it early is watching, thank you very much.
Yeah.
He will remain anonymous. Still glossy.
And heavy.
Yeah. I like that it says for 2 or more players. Are they going to have rules for 3 players? It'd be awesome. Playtime approximately 1 to 3 hours.
How many points do you want to use?
Yeah, if you play a lot, like me and Noah, it can definitely be 1 hour. But I think we all know the people who make it 3 hours.
Right. I'm hoping they cut the tournament times down a little.
Yeah, that'd be more fun to mingle with people and drink beer.
All right.
So this is awesome.
9 hours.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet picture.
Yeah, nice little poster or whatever, backdrop or mat.
Yeah, yeah. Put it if you're working on your computer, you can have your mouse pad next to it or something. Once again, this guy looks kind of evil.
Oh well, everyone's kind of evil.
Yeah, I guess it's true. Yeah, you get these guys that clearly kind of look like cultists, but in a good army, they're just
the
like
servitors.
Servitors, yeah, they're thralls.
They're plugged in to the Matrix.
The glowing effect on this is awesome. Coming off the...
Yeah, it's a really cool picture.
Yeah. Blood angels.
Yeah, it's
Surprising.
all over. Blood angels. All right.
Well, cool.
Gearing up for war.
We'll put this on the wall. I'll take free stuff. Oh my god. So much. Okay, so first things first. Gigantic. Put my hand behind it so it focuses. Huge motorcycles. And these sprues are just packed. I mean, I don't think they're going to have a lot of options on the sprues.
No, they're usually, single
Push
pose
fit, yeah,
and push
single
fit.
But
They're definitely push fit. Which is nice, you don't have to use glue.
For the new players. Anyway.
Yeah, it makes it quick. And also, if you do use glue, it just makes it more sturdy.
Exactly. Well, and they really just each individual part. You got the front and back. It's almost like you're building a Space Marine on foot. I don't remember the old bikes being like that. But yeah, that's going to be fun. Your Ultramarines will have a blast with those.
Oh, yeah.
We'll try to stick with Space Marines for a minute. Okay, these got to be the new Intercessors.
Oh, yeah, they're big.
So are they just called Assault Intercessors, or do they have a new name?
I think they're just Assault Intercessors, because I doubt they can take many ranged options. I bet they have to take the sword. And
yeah.
I think they can take like plasma pistol.
And it looks like the same bolt pistol that Reavers have, so it has an AP.
Probably.
Which is nice.
And then the
plasma pistol, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the sergeant can maybe take some other stuff.
For all you Iron Hands players, he's got a robot arm like the Terminator.
Oh, nice. I got an old school captain like that. His wrist.
That's nice. That's a good one. I wasn't planning on getting these. Originally, I was just going to keep the Necron half, but I think my Space Wolves would really like these guys running with Ragnar. Even just like 5 in Ragnar and an Impulsor.
Yeah?
Just so when he gets out, he has some meat in front of him, so he can't get targeted.
A little bit of a bodyguard.
Yeah, those are great.
Oh yeah. And they're not quite as bad as old Space Marines. You see how they have like the body and the leg connected?
Yeah,
old school Space Marines were horrible.
Down, oh my god, cut down on time a little bit.
Horrible.
So this looks like the lieutenant because he's got this crazy new Volca Pistol.
Yeah.
And I like that they have a shield on their shoulder like a Imperial Knight does.
Yeah, like a little old school Terminator.
Oh yeah, they do have that. You're right.
Mm-hmm. The crux.
Oh, the shields. They really went with the old Gothic crosses.
Yeah, they went all out.
Yeah, the detail. I mean, I'm sure if you guys aren't brand new to Warhammer, you've noticed the detail has skyrocketed in the last few years, and I assume it's to battle 3D printing. Just make it so detailed that it's hard to 3D print. But I'm not complaining. As someone who likes ink washes and dry brushing, more detail the better.
Yeah.
The more detail, the more I look like an expert when I dry brush, which is hilarious. So this looks like a new character. Is this the back? No, it's probably sitting on the back. Forget the name of this guy, but he's basically a bigger warrior. And he has these big back plates that go up over his shoulder. This Necron. Cool little cloak. I don't think it's the Lord or the Overlord. It might be the Lord.
I think this is... I got the Overlord over here.
The Overlord has the gigantic Void Scythe. As you should always give it to him, just in case you get stuck in combat. And he's tall. They're starting to make them huge, like Primaris now.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
With that focus, and then wow, the captain. His
Wow.
shield is so detailed. He has a second part of just the shield that you have to
Yeah,
put on the front.
I think all the big relic, the character ones, the relic shields are like that.
And I am loving the base. That base is great.
I'm loving this sprue.
Which one is that one?
It's the last Marine one, and there's everything else on it.
Yeah.
You got the banner guy, you got the Bladeguard Veterans, you have the chaplain, you have the
The
eradicators.
big meltas. Yeah, eradicators. That melta looks awesome. He holds it on the top.
Oh
His
yeah,
other fist.
it's a big one.
Oh, these robed characters.
Oh yeah, and flip it over and check out the banner. It's so detailed.
Oh, yeah, if you are a fan of Stormcast,
Yeah.
they have a very similar banner. I almost feel like the same guy designed it.
Or it is the same.
Yeah, hey, I'm not complaining.
It's a good one.
I love all the robes. Dark Angels players will have a field day with those.
All those veterans always get that.
I like that this guy's like, I thought he was holding a keychain, but it's just a hand.
Yeah, I think it's from
skeleton hand.
the bannerman. So I think the banner dude is missing a hand, the like skeleton on the banner.
That's awesome.
Carrying it around.
Just as a
It's his token. Oh, that's a great
new
sprue.
chaplain.
Mm-hmm.
Just comes with a Primaris chaplain.
Yeah.
Just another chaplain for you. Oh, everyone loves chaplains. You can still you can't reroll litanies, right?
Not unless you have some ability.
Oh, but you can still choose your litany after you see your opponent, which
I
is one of the
believe
rare
so.
things.
If you
we
make-
could be wrong, but
If you make him the the Master of Sanctity, then he can take a Warlord trait, I think, that lets him reroll litanies. So
that's so good.
he's pretty good. Yeah,
So-
spend a couple CP and he gets nasty.
So this is that hilarious, gigantic broadsword that's square.
Oh,
For
the
lopping heads off.
GCR is on there too.
Yeah, and it's
All three elites
yeah, that's going to be a sprue that people just like sell on eBay for $50.
or more.
Yeah.
Like 80.
So I like the way he leans it on his shoulder because I grew up playing Final Fantasy VII, and it kind of reminds me of Cloud from Final Fantasy, just leaning that Buster
Right.
sword.
And he's good. His sword is good. It chops Primaris up real quick.
So here we have another gigantic Void Scythe from the Necrons. I'm trying to let this focus. It's trying to focus on things behind it. So you got the Void Scythe. You have this huge War of the World thing. Obviously, we're going to get the names right in a minute because we'll get down to the books and see what each thing is called. But it's a big squid, big tall squid-looking thing that supposedly helps with your reanimation protocol. Oh, there's the claw.
Oh yeah, the giant hand, the strong hand.
Yeah, exactly. One of the new characters, the Destroyer character, has a gigantic claw hand, and I was just laughing because it takes up like half his torso. It's awesome. He better have some like attack where he grabs you with that and then chops you with his axes.
Grabs you.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Oh, you gotta stay with me.
No white scars. You can't leave. No Harlequins.
Right.
That's a great sprue too. There's a lot going on there. I can't even because it's not humanoid body parts like torsos and legs. It's really hard to tell what I'm looking at.
Right. I'm pretty sure this is those new Triarch little stalker dudes.
The combat version of destroyers, right, with the big weapons. I think they leaked the profile of these axes, and it's like -4 AP flat 3 damage.
Yeah.
They're going to be really good at cutting up.
That's why the
Primaris.
bikers have 4 wounds.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but the guys with the shields probably only have 3,
Yeah.
so that'll be a good fight. And some of us weirdos of Necron collectors run Evoke because for some reason we wanted combat Necrons, and they're finally giving it to us. It's kind of like, as strange as it is that your Ultramarines are suddenly going to be really good at combat.
Yeah.
It's like all combat characters. I mean, you already had Guilliman, so that helped.
Yeah, he's a beast.
So it looks like the exact same thing. So everyone gets 2 posters.
Share with your it's each player. You know, it's a 2-player set.
Nice little. Put that on the wall too. That's
Oh, here
that's
these.
nice.
All the
Oh,
warriors.
there's one more.
It's just double. It's warriors and scarabs.
Things that we already had, but they gave us
The new models look
models.
nice, and the scarabs look awesome. You can see their legs. They have good detail. Like,
They're bigger.
oh yeah, they're.
Focus camera.
I have always liked the whole Walking Dead Necron Horde thing. It's never very good.
Yeah.
But now, hopefully,
We
once
tried.
this floods the market, maybe it'll be affordable.
And they look taller. They just
I'm
look
sure
bigger.
they're bigger. Yeah.
And they just started making all the models bigger, which
easier to paint.
easier to paint.
Easier to build.
Look. I think they look better on the battlefield. And maybe it's all planned. They're gonna make all the models bigger and then release Epic again. The little 10mm.
Right, the tiny where like a Land Raider is like that.
Yeah, you buy whole like formations at a time. Okay, so we got the Edge of Silence, which is a cool little.
It's gonna be the build guide, probably, and all the rules.
Sounds like a novel.
That's where the points will be for all the models in here, anyway.
For these models, yeah. So you got your huge assembly guide, which people will sell on eBay for just like $10 just for this.
Right. Who knows?
That's nice. That's where we can get all the names of all the people, and then here we go, the rules for just these guys. The Silent Kingdom. Oh, it even has some fluff in there.
Oh yeah.
The Pariah Crusade. That's cool.
I
mean, isn't the last Psychic Awakening supposed to be called Pariah, the book?
I think so, yeah.
Got your Necron. So, one of them is called a Royal Warden. Over here. Royal Warden, a Plasmancer, a Scorpek Lord, Necron Destroyers, Scorpek Destroyers, Plasma Scythe, Crypto Thralls, all kinds of new units for Necron players. This is like Christmas. They've made it to where these guys won't come out in their own boxes for like a year.
Right.
So you're gonna have Necron players, if you want these, you're just gonna have to. Hopefully, you got a box before it's sold out.
Or get them on eBay.
Yeah, and people are trying to scalp, trying to sell them for more. But I did see that if you were unlucky and not able to grab a box where they're sold out, GW will make you one specifically just for you. Limit one, and this should be here in time for Christmas. So, sorry if you didn't get one, but
soon enough.
Wow, just great pictures, great art. So, Primaris Captain, Primaris Lieutenant, Primaris Chaplain, Judiciar, that's a cool word, cool name. Assault Intercessor Squad, Bladeguard Ancient, Bladeguard Veteran Squad, Outrider Squad, and Eradicator Squad. I'm glad that they're coming up with new names, and we're done. Maybe Warhammer can stop with 6 different units called Destroyers.
Right.
There's Necron Destroyers, Admech Destroyers. It just keeps going and going. So they're starting to not repeat names, so Eradicator, I like that. Outrider, those are cool. There it is. They even have the power level for the 15 people who use power level.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they use it for like reinforcements or something.
There is a new Space Wolf stratagem that you can pop where if the unit you're fighting is a higher power level than you, then you reroll hits and wins. So they still bring it in there sometimes, just enough for you to have to go, oh man, I gotta look this up.
Yeah, right.
Eradicators, that's the one that leaked a little while ago, but yeah, shoot twice.
Oh, they're heavy too, of course.
Yeah.
Got it.
So moving and shooting is a no-no.
No, I meant their slot.
Oh, their slot, okay. Oh yeah, because this is an assault. No, yeah. They can move.
Oh no, they're good.
It's better than a multi-melter in every possible way.
Literally, yeah.
They're just making multi-melters for vehicles only, probably.
Yeah, they're still good on vehicles. And
they released a picture of the new like go-kart looking thing that's coming out, the four-wheeler, and it had the Onslaught Gatling cannon, but it said you can also build it with multi-melter. So they're definitely not phasing out multi-melters.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, it just seemed like this is the exact same stats in every way, but better because it's assault.
Yeah. And then
like
when you're
literally the same exact stats.
You just get to zap stuff with it, or any marine in the tactical doctrine, -5.
Oh, because tactical is assault as well. Yeah. Gross.
So just put them off the board. Wait till turn 2. Boom.
So the guy that we were looking at that looks like a regular Necron warrior but a little bigger is called the Royal Warden.
He's one of their new buff units, I think.
In your command phase, you can select one friendly dynasty unit within 9 inches. Until the end of the turn, that you can fall back and still shoot and charge.
Wow.
So there's some flexibility for Necrons. I like that.
That's solid.
Overlord got a new thing, Relentless March. Oh, they're just changing the rules completely, these guys. When a dynasty unit within 6 inches is selected to make a normal move or advance, add 1 to the distance. Oh no, he already did that, didn't he? So, that's not bad. Plasmancer.
There we go.
Little floating...
creepy guy.
Yeah, necromancer. I mean, he even looks like the necromancer from AOS. Roll a d6 for each enemy unit within 6 inches of the model in the fight phase. On a 4-up, they suffer 1 mortal wound. So, spread even more mortal wounds as my Satan are shooting them across the board. Harbinger of destruction. At the end of your movement phase, the model is not advanced or falling back. You can select the nearest visible enemy unit within 18 inches. Roll 3d6s for each 4-up. It's a mortal wound. So that's seems like that's all he does. Is he does have the Cryptek keyword and living metal, so maybe that'll come into play. And then big guy with the claw that we've been laughing about, who I'm actually very excited about. 2-up weapon skill, 2-up ballistic skill, 6 strength, 6 toughness, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, 3-up save. He has a gun that is assault 2d3, and it's blast, strength 6, AP 1. Hyperface harvester is +2 strength, -4 AP, flat 3 damage.
-4 is hilarious.
Yeah. It's just like, no, you get nothing unless you're a Terminator. And then Flensing Claw, he does that.
You get cover now in combat if you didn't charge.
That's true. That's true.
If it's the heavy cover,
right?
Or whatever.
Which we'll be sure to mark all of our terrain.
Yeah, they better release a dice set.
Okay, so he has kind of a horde hitting one. So the claw is 2 hits per attack, or two hit rolls instead of 1 for each attack with this weapon.
Okay.
And it's just user AP -1/1.
But he's strength 5, isn't he?
Strength
6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he's chopping up a little.
So yeah, with 4 attacks, you should get 6 hits, or 3 hits, which you multiply by 2, and then or you could go the other way, which is strength 8 minus strength 8 too. And he's ready to kill Primaris.
Yeah.
And then he comes with reroll wounds of 1 for Destroyer Dynasty within 6 inches. So the combat guys.
Yeah, these guys.
He's got a 4-up invul, and he has hardwired for destruction. Reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks with this model. So he's rolling hits.
He rolls hits and
yeah,
wow.
He's a beast. And then they come with their own buddies that are ready to kill. It's basically destroyers, but the combat version. 3 attacks. I mean, that's not too bad.
No, they're probably beefy too.
Yeah.
Hard to kill.
Infused Madness. If a destroyer is killed, this little weird model that comes with them, the plasma scythe, till the end of that phase, add 1 to the strength and attacks characteristic of destroyer models in this unit. So they get mad when 1 dies, I guess. That's cool. I like it. Crypto Thralls are the ones that leaked. They basically take wounds for your characters, I'm pretty sure. The Reanimator, that's the weird squid thing we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. The War of the Worlds.
Yeah, exactly. T5 with 6 wounds and 3-up save, so it's not exactly hard to kill.
Is he a character? No.
No. Monster.
Haha.
So he's got living metal, so he'll heal every turn. He's got 3 shots at... Oh, 2 of those. So he has 6 shots at strength 6 -2, 1 damage. Not terrible. But the main thing is, select 1 friendly dynasty unit within 9 inches. If you do, until the start of your next command phase, while that unit is within 9 inches of this model, add 1 to reanimation protocols.
Ooh.
Add 1. And then you can add another one for...
With the Cryptarch, I believe. Or
yeah,
Cryptek,
and then a reanimation or rerolls.
For reroll ones.
Oh my god.
Or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. They all come back.
That's gross, yeah. Necron Warriors, same thing, but now they can take a new one that is only 14-inch range. The Goss Reaper. 14-inch range, but it's strength 5 -2 AP.
1 damage?
Yep, 1
Okay.
damage. So it's
good.
it's 10 inches shorter than the Immortals gun, but the same strength and AP.
Yeah, so in your face, Necrons.
It's rapid fire. So if you're within 7...
I bet maybe
Shoots
there's a
twice.
dynasty that lets you do it at full.
Yeah, there is
something.
one and there's one where you reroll hits if you sit still, something like that.
All right.
Scarabs look the same. We'll go to the Marines real quick. I know people are wanting to see what crazy things these guys do. The Outriders, I think their stats leaked, but if you haven't seen them, 4 wounds each at T5.
Yeah.
4 wounds each.
Beast mode.
Devastating charge. Adds 2 to the attacks till the end of the turn.
Yeah, so these do
And that's not
6 attacks.
That's a different rule than the +1 attack for being a Space Marine.
Right.
So you start at base 2, 3 for the chainsword, 4 for being a Space Marine, 5, 6 for the devastating charge, 7 if you're a Blood Angel,
And 7 if you're the sergeant too.
Oh,
so yeah, they just put out a quick 19 attacks on the charge.
with
those
3 models.
3 dudes.
Yeah. They have frag and crack grenades, like always. The front of the bike has a twin bolt rifle.
Oh yeah, it's the AP version.
Yeah.
The bolter.
And a heavy bolt pistol.
Yeah, they come with that. So, but you can't shoot both, I don't think.
Still, these guys are going to be, they'll probably be undercosted for a while and then they'll adjust it, but they're going to be popular.
Yeah.
Especially with armies that buff aren't units like this. Like the Raven Wing are going to be gross. White Scars.
That'll be good.
But I mean, even just these guys hitting the flank while Gulliman charges up the middle is going to be really gross.
Well, and hey, Ultramarines can back out and shoot. So,
yep.
And they're not vehicles, so they can't sit in combat and shoot.
Yep.
What,
so even more reason. Well, in the game, if you guys haven't played any 9th with leaked rules or anything yet, it's very much focused on board control.
Yep.
So you want to be able to get all over the place. Bladeguard Veterans, you got your 3 wounds, 3 attacks. Yeah, they are 3 wounds. Yeah, they're beefy. But only T4, so they're not quite Gravis.
No.
Master Crafted Power Sword.
Yeah.
So strength 5 minus 3, flat 2.
Strength 5. Ooh.
So good. Improve the bearer's safe characteristic by 1. So just the one on here goes from 3+ to 2+. And then they also get a 4-up involved. Which makes sense because they are modeled with the Iron Halo that usually only Lords have. Or Captains.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. The Ancient.
Apparently they found a stash of them. Started
exactly.
dishing them out to regular troops.
Call's like, I have these if you guys need them.
We can stamp some more.
So there's an aura from the banner that's add 1 to hit rolls.
For those guys, right? The Bladeguard Veterans.
Yep, Bladeguard models. So maybe there'll be other Bladeguard
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Well, him too. He buffs himself.
Oh, he has Bladeguard, yep.
Yep. But yeah, I bet there'll be some more.
Is the aura the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you fight when you die.
Or shoot, yeah.
Whew! 5
good.
wounds, yep.
Again, pretty good. Here's my
GSCR,
favorite.
yeah, the
Can't wait for
GSCR
this
is crazy good. 5 wounds, great. Absolver bolt pistol, that's the strength 5, 2 damage bolt pistol.
18-inch range.
Yeah.
Bop.
It's the same one that the Apothecary has for some reason.
Because they're good.
Executioner Relic Blade.
Yeah.
Strength 7, minus 3, flat 2, wound rolls of 6, or mortal 1 in addition.
Yeah, gross. And he has what, like 4 or 5 attacks?
He's got 4, so 5 for being a Space Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, very good. 4-up invul, but only against melee, so keep him hidden until he's ready to fight.
3-up armor, yeah.
Yeah. So, but only T5 too, so it's not Gravis.
T4?
Or that's what I meant, T4.
I was like, T5, he wins.
Temper Mortis. At the start of each fight phase, select one enemy unit within 6 inches. They cannot fight until all eligible units have done so that phase. So if you know how good Vexilla Mask is in Drukhari, or Armor of Rust in Space Wolves, they give you this same rule. He just gets it without a relic.
And he doesn't have to be in combat. He can just point. 6 inches.
And I guess there's nothing stopping you from just taking multiples of these and just making
3 of them. Yeah.
making 3 units fight last.
Yeah. You do not fight till I fight.
It's so good. Primaris Chaplain looks like the same.
Probably just new sculpt is what I heard.
Yep.
I mean,
and the sculpt is incredible.
Yeah.
Captain, Relic Shield.
Yeah, so all the characters besides the Chaplain have that. Those 2 guys have the Relic Shield.
So it's different than the Bladeguard Storm Shield because it stops mortal wounds.
Ah, it's a little better.
Roll a d6 on a 4+ mortal wound is stopped, and increase the bear save by 1 because they already come with a 4-up invul.
Right.
And then Lieutenant doesn't. The Lieutenant just has a Storm Shield, so only the Captain has the Relic Shield that can stop mortal wounds. But yeah, 5 attacks on his profile, so 6 on the charge. Master Crafted Power Sword. I mean, this guy's going to be a favorite as long as his points are nice and cheap in like Blood Angels, Space Wolves.
I think they're like right around 100, 105.
It's great.
Something like that.
Anyone who's used a Lieutenant or anyone who plays an army that's not Space Marines knows how powerful rerolling wounds is. Rerolling 1s to wound. It just changes everything. So, always great to get a Primaris Lieutenant.
Yeah, with an invul.
Yeah. First time.
Before.
Yeah, that's true.
That's going to be a really popular guy too. Replacing most lieutenants.
And he has a new thing called a Neo Volca Pistol. And it's Pistol 2, 15-inch range. Strength 5, AP nothing but 2 damage, and 6 is our mortal wound in addition. Wow. Okay. I think both these armies are getting a big buff. It's a nice little book, and then behind it you see
the Book of Books.
It has this nice little border that looks like the wall of faces from Game of Thrones.
Right. I think you get your bases back there.
so many bases that they have bases not in packages too.
Yeah, I think
Just loose bases.
Wow.
Outriders.
Yeah,
That huge one has to be that Lord.
No, I think this one is the...
There's two though. So probably one is the squid and one is that huge Lord with the claw.
The funny hand.
The Scorpion Lord.
The strong hand.
Scorptech Lord.
Let's dive right in.
Get it.
What's that? Oh, more bases.
I thought that was going to be a artwork. I'm like, that's going on the wall.
Your awesome transfer sheet. They
Space Wolves.
They give you like a bunch of chapters on this.
Wow.
This one of the good ones.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah, that's a good one. And the book.
Oh yeah.
Guilliman and Horus, I believe. I don't really know Chaos that well.
No, that's Abaddon.
Oh, it is. You're right. He has a big claw.
The Despoiler.
Well,
That's the claw of Horus, right?
He loses that fight.
Or Talon of Horus.
So you know.
Yeah, I mean on the battlefield, there's no way of winning that fight.
But yeah, it's a nice giant book. I mean,
so nice. And like, when was the last time you saw a rule book that, I don't know if you guys have ever bought the special edition codexes? They come with nothing, no font on the front.
Hey,
and that's what this looks like.
That's the
color picture.
That is this.
Nice.
But colored.
Oh.
All right. See, I think that's the chaplain. That's why it looks super creepy.
Oh yeah, the new chaplain.
Yeah.
That's the name of the old box set.
Right. Now we're in the Dark Imperium,
That's right.
leading the Indomitus crusade again.
These are weird. Do these fold out? Look how these pages are sticking out further. Is this a fold out? It is a fold out.
Wow.
Weird.
Oh, it's the star maps.
Oh wow.
Fluff.
You're seeing this first time, guys.
Right.
Wow. And I love that that's like, I love that the map of Holy Terra is like super stylized. Like they don't want you to know how it actually looks, but it's clearly our planets: Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get some treats. Good call on the short pages. And then yeah, tons of fluff.
So much.
I think
all
the
new
rules
players
probably...
or players like me who have played competitively but haven't really dug into the fluff that much.
Okay.
This is important.
We got the rules.
Battle Forge.
That's where they start. So they start on page 245.
There you go. 245, guys. Hey, if you ever want to play a 3,000 point game, you get to start with 18 command points.
Yeah, if you have a whole day.
I mean, it's still better rules than Apocalypse.
Oh.
So, I've been waiting. I know these have leaked, but I'll be honest, I haven't really looked deeply into all of them. I assume they're all pretty much the same.
Oh yeah, they did change the Supreme command. Big time.
Patrols 2, I thought it was 1. Okay, so it still costs 2.
Yeah, it still costs 2, and it's your basic 1 or 2, 1 to 3, and then 0 to 2 of everything else.
If you're foolish enough to have a brigade that doesn't have your warlord in it, it costs 4.
Yeah, if somehow you do that, I don't even know how you'd do that.
Spearhead.
Yeah, it looks like everything else is basically
6 of the main thing and 2 of everything else.
Yeah, 3 troops.
Was that always 3?
I think so. They usually let you take a lot of troops.
I like that.
2 flyers, and then all of them have the dedicated transport rule, where they did change that, actually. It used to be a dedicated transport per unit. Now it's a dedicated transport per troop.
It makes sense. They don't want you spamming Venoms.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's still kind of like you could take like a fluffy vanguard of all foot slogging like veterans, and now you just can't have... I mean, it's for, fluffy game, whatever, just break the rules a little, but...
Well, your Venom spam armies out there, if you Drukhari players, your battalion can fit 6, and then just start with 9 instead of 12 CP and take a second battalion to get 6 more. Yeah. I mean, you could do brigade, but then you're having to get a lot of these other
it's probably not worth it.
Right.
Just pay the CP and start with 9. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see, guys. If you're a long-time viewer of Beer and Bat Reps, you know that my lists are kind of wacky. I don't always take troops, so I'll be using a lot of these other detachments. I think that's going to be very popular.
Patrol. Oh, yeah. Patrol, and then here's the weird ones. Well, weird. The new one, Supreme Command. So you basically have to take a Primarch, a Demon Primarch, or a Supreme Commander, which is a new keyword that they're giving units, like, that basically are Primarchs, but don't have that word. Like, probably Baneblades, stuff like that.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Lord of Skulls, something like that. +4?
So and it works in the way that it basically refunds the other
What the other
battalion
cost?
you have to pay for. So if you take a, battalion and you...
Oh, because it would normally cost 4 for brigade, so now that's why it gives you +4.
It gives you...
Gotcha.
And it costs 0. So since it makes your warlord be here...
So the reason it gives you an
back.
extra 3 is because Gulliman gives you an extra 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I take Mortarion, I won't be getting extra, but
it'll
it's still,
just cover it.
Yeah,
that's 12.
nice. That's nice. And then super heavy, you get 6. This will be free if your warlord is a super heavy, which is nice. 3 to 5 Lords of War.
A classic, and then a single if you really just want to bring one.
Yeah, which
costs a lot.
Honestly, this will be a lot of my games. This will be Mortarion. It'll just cost me 3 to add to my demons or whatever. So that'll be nice.
Fortifications, we don't really use them a lot, but 1 CP, not horrible. They don't tax you too hard if you want to bring a little bit of that.
And if you guys are playing, not even competitively, just not open. It's usually still 3 detachments, right?
Mm-hmm. Depending on the size of your game, yeah. It's probably 2, 3, 4.
I mean, they could have made this 0, and it still probably wouldn't. You still wouldn't see any because it takes a whole detachment.
Mm-hmm.
But there should be less detachments now because people don't want to spend a lot of CP.
Right. And then, as always, the silly auxiliary. You want to pop one thing in your army that you don't have room for.
Now.
Yeah, it should. It's silly. Like I think the only choice it's worth is
HQ.
an HQ.
Yeah, like picture our Chaos Space Marines with the 3 Disco Lords and all that, and then I spend 2 to bring the unkillable Lord of Change bird.
Right. Well, this is the funniest. You can just spam a couple extra transports if you want to pay for it.
2 CP a transport.
You have to be
oh man,
madman.
Does it come with these?
I really
get some of these army.
Well, I really hope it just comes with a page you can photocopy or print out.
I did not see this coming. They're gonna have a couple pages per army, maybe, or it's just showing off his Thousand Sons for some reason. Really thought it would have more.
Oh, the Universal Stratagems.
Yeah, we'll take a look at those. So, Universal Stratagems, if you haven't seen some of the quote-unquote leaks from GW, they're the ones who leaked them.
Yeah. It's good.
Normal command reroll. The difference between 8th and 9th, though, is it's not as many things you can reroll.
Yeah, it's not everything. It's just there's a big list, and it makes you, for instance, on charge rolls, reroll both dice. You don't get to reroll 1 die anymore.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's like you roll a 6 and a 1. Yeah, it's not as good. But if you roll 2 2s, it's way better.
Right. Oh, it's situationally good. And then armies like orcs that can already reroll 1, it just makes it great. Or any army that can add or reroll just single dice are really good now.
They changed Insane Bravery. It's still 2 CP, but it's once per battle.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about morale.
Super weird considering they already dropped CPs so much. I'd be fine with someone spending 2 to have a unit.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Do that 3 times,
I just
man.
never see this happen unless it's on a game-winning objective.
Right.
You gotta hold it because you're about to score on your start of your next turn.
Right. It'll definitely have its place, but I don't see many people use it.
Overwatch, you'll see it a lot with raids with the Flamer D sides.
Wow, it's 2 CP. Oh no,
Okay. Yeah. Or the freaking Castellan robots or Mad Men.
Yeah.
Of course you'll spend the CP, but a normal unit of 10 intercessors, I don't think you'll see it that often.
Yeah.
Or 5 intercessors.
Maybe Ultramarines if you build your army around it, because you can pay 2 more to have 3 other units shoot.
Yeah, that's amazing. Though.
It's if you're running
really
a castle,
yeah.
and it's still 3 CP. Oh, that's a
And
lot.
I've watched an early battle report out there on the interwebs, and Tau don't spend a thing. They all just get it. It's free.
Right.
Tau, don't panic. Tau players, you're normal.
Yeah, you get your stuff. It's 0 CP, so you can still only do it once.
No, I was wrong about that.
Oh,
they
really?
They have their normal rules. They can all overwatch on the same turn. So Tau, that should help Tau a little bit. I mean...
Yeah, this one was good. If you have some important characters that just can't die, that one's nice.
AdMech players are used to this one because theirs is 0 CP.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm actually...
safe transports.
I don't mind any of the changes to the core stratagems, and I really like this one. because I hated getting stuck in combat.
Oh yeah.
Like when you got tri-pointed, like one model of yours is surrounded and you can't leave combat because you can't fly. Now you can leave combat for 2 CPs. You can just...
Yeah, but you roll a 1 and you just die.
Yeah.
So before you try that with like an expensive dreadnought, this is a little scary because you can't re-roll that 1.
Right.
Just like if you roll an explosive result, you can't re-roll that anymore either. So games are going to be a lot more wacky. You won't be able to control things. There's some weird... There's all kinds of strats and relics out there where it's like, don't roll a 1, and now those are going to be way more dangerous. Because you won't be able to re-roll those.
I like.
It also makes spells like the Tzeentch Demon spell where you just get a free reroll the rest of the game, or the rest of that turn of any kind. Makes those way stronger.
Really good.
Yeah, counteroffensive, arguably the most important stratagem of any army.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's so important.
You get to jump in and fight.
I just played Logan, Space Wolves versus Custodes, and I think I used it every turn.
Right.
You know, it's just so important. Because it's just like, okay, you pick a unit, and then I get to kill something with Murder Fang.
Right. Ooh, strategic reserves. Oh, wow. That's a big combined power level. So basically they gave all the units you want anywhere reserves. It costs CP depending on the total power level of the units you want to put in strategic reserves. And then there's rules for them coming on, like they can't come on turn 1, turn 2 they can come on, I think on any board edge outside of your opponent's deployment zone, and then turn 3 on they get to come out anywhere but your opponent's table edge.
So is 9 pretty big? I mean that's, you know, like a unit of aggressors is 6, a unit of those eradicate 3, the smaller unit. Right, a lot of these characters were 5 in the new ones, so that's good.
No, I mean like
Outriders will probably cost 2. They're probably 10 to 19.
Oh, Guilliman will cost 2. That's fun. Here I am.
You got to do it with another unit to still have bodies in front of him.
Well, he has to make his charge, basically.
Yeah. So battle round 1, no reserves. Battle round 2, any battlefield edge, but not the enemy battlefield edge within 6. Battle round 3.
Or deployment zone, right?
Or an enemy deployment zone, yes.
Yeah.
Battle round 3, within 6, but not enemy battlefield edge. And then that's it. So but if you wait till battle round 3, you can drop them in their deployment zone.
Yeah, you get a little more board room.
Cannot set up within 9, normal stuff.
Yeah, counts as moving.
Yep.
All that. It's pretty cool because, you know, it gives you, like, if you got some extra CP and you're going for different objectives, like you could put 4 squads of guard, or 3, at least 3 for 1 CP.
Yeah.
And then just have them poke out on board edges and help you get control and secondaries. I mean, and they're so cheap, yeah, they're going to die, but they're just going for the objectives you score on your turn anyway.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, boom, I'm here, I did it, hooray. If you don't shoot me, I'll do it again.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
So they got some cool little, you know, again, it's tactical flexibility.
This is a big new one. Not everyone's going to do it, but a lot of armies have lots of units that, I'm not going to say throwaway units, but just kind of extra units on the field, and actions are going to be great. There's psychic and there's regular. Certain units have their own actions as well, or not certain units, but certain
games.
Missions.
Yeah, and they're basically all just objective-based stuff.
And the gist of it is you score victory points instead of doing anything else.
Yeah, like it shuts everything down. You can't cast other psychic powers if you're doing a psychic one. If you're a character with bubbles or auras, gone for that until they're done with the action.
And you have to hold it till your next turn.
It's almost always you start it on your turn and then you complete it at the start of your next command phase.
So it's very hard. If your opponent focuses, he can get you off it. I personally have not even tried it once in all of our practice games. I think you did it once where you raise a flag on each objective.
Yeah, the raise the banner one's pretty cool because it happens at the end of your turn.
So terrain is a big one. We might even want like a how to use terrain in 9th separate video.
Yeah, no, we need to look over it more too because they really went in depth, which is good. It does put the pressure on either the players or the tournament organizers to really know it or just ignore it. If you're playing for fun, you know, be like, whatever, you get a cover. You know, you could just make it real easy and say everything is light cover. But I mean, they did everything to, you know, make it breachable. Can infantry walk through it? Stuff like that.
And just like any new rules that came in 8th, we'll soak it up and memorize it pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
So like
the changes. This is basically 8.5. I mean, it's refined 8th edition.
So these are open war. So if you're if you like to just create your own missions and
or you just
bring
want the box
fluffy
set
stuff,
and just
exactly.
wanna throw it at itself.
There's my boy Ragnar.
Oh, there it is.
My favorite character in Warhammer. All right, match play. Here we go. You got your turn of war.
I'm pretty sure they scaled the missions based on the size of the game.
So it's combat patrol, incursion. So incursion's the normal one. Or no, strike force. Up to 3 hours. Yeah.
And yeah, so you have 3 missions for your 500-point games, and then 6 missions for the main missions main points you'll be playing.
3 for the 3,000.
3 for giant. And you have to have a big table for that, man. 90 inches.
44 by 90 minimum.
Yeah.
44 by 90.
90. Woo.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We could do it.
Oh, yeah.
We could do it. All right. So here's what I was wondering about. Declare reserves and transports. So you choose your deployment zone. Then you determine attacker defender.
Right.
Then you both declare reserves and transports. So both players now secretly note down on their army roster. This is very different from any other edition. Which of their units will start the battle in a location other than the battlefield.
So that includes the strategic reserves or any abilities that your units have to.
Yep. In parentheses it says if a player has access to any stratagems that enable them to set up units from their army in a location other than the battlefield, they must use such stratagems now. So basically when we reveal this, you'll also be like, hey, I used 3 CP to do this.
Right.
You'll just write the word transport next to units that are embarked in transports. For like when you're making your tournament lists or even just friendly lists when you show up, you're still going to have this on your list.
All right, I like that.
No more than half the total number of units can be in reserve.
Half the total number. So is it a power level?
I'm not seeing that
restriction. Okay, so people will.
Oh, and the combined points value of all your strategic reserve reinforcement units must be less than half your army's total points.
Less than half. Yeah. So by 1 point, you have 999 points.
You can put basically half your army off.
Yeah. Okay, so they kept it the same. That's good. Can you arrive turn 1?
Well, that first thing we read said that. Oh, that was for the side one, right?
Yeah. Like I mean, I know my drop pods can because they ignore all this.
It's not right here, so I'm guessing no.
Yeah, I'm assuming you can't come in until turn 2, or maybe you can come in on your own deployment side or something.
Yeah, they did that a little bit in 8th. Just to hold off your best guns and drop in and shoot on your turn.
Yeah.
But
that's what I would do.
So they even have a little box about conceding.
Oh, don't do that. Never concede. It's a dice game.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes once you're really used to Warhammer, you can kind of see how it's going to go. But
in a tournament, never concede.
Deploy armies, begin the battle, ending the battle, determining victor. This is all great. Secondary objectives. This is a big one.
This is brand new.
Yeah, these leaked a little bit online, but it was kind of blurry, so I'm very happy to have it. We'll get right to Alright, so how this basically works, if you've never played ITC, it's very similar to that, but if you never have, so for all those local guys that we play here that don't play tournaments a lot, you're going to pick one secondary, but each column, you can't have more than one.
Or each like section.
Yeah, so the big font breaks it down. So if you know you're going to cause a lot of damage, but you're not necessarily good at movement, like maybe an older AdMech army that doesn't have any of the new fast stuff, you definitely want to like pick one from Purge the Enemy. Same with No Mercy, No Respite. This is also about killing. So these are both about killing your opponents, which are my favorite things.
Yeah, they're good.
If you're a Space Marine player or you're going to be a new Space Marine player from this box, the other things are typically where they dominate. Battlefield Supremacy is secondaries like getting in each table quarter or having 2 units in your opponent's deployment zone every turn. You get 4 victory points per turn you do that. So it adds up quick. You can only get 15, so no matter which of these you pick.
Yeah, per secondary.
Yeah, per secondary you can only get 15 total for the whole game per secondary. So you're going for 45. I've still not seen it done in any of our practice games. We got me and Logan got pretty close, both of us. It was like 12, 12, 10 each of our secondaries.
I mean, if you're scoring in like the high 30s, you're doing well.
Yeah, and then there are ones that supposedly, depending on your opponent's like warlord, they're supposed to be a little easier, like Slay the Warlord. It's just, if you kill the enemy warlord, you get 6 victory points. That's it. It's supposed to be a little simpler than having to score each turn.
If you brought the right army, yeah, you could do it.
So I bet you there's going to be games where people don't want to try for these really hard ones. They have to score every turn and just go, you know what? I'm going to get 6 for killing your warlord because your warlord is a Knight Titan. And I'm just going to shoot all my guns at it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like, I'm gonna do that. Obviously you wouldn't, because there's one called Titan Slayers that like gets you so many points. Knights are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
No Mercy Nor Spite has one called Thin Their Ranks. So if you're playing against a Orc or Tyranid Horde player a lot, or someone with 90 guardsmen, it's a point per 10 models killed and a point for each 10 wound vehicle killed, or monster. So that adds up quick if you're playing a lot of guard with tanks and bodies. But then you can't take one of the other ones on there. So it's a lot of hard choices. What I found in all of our practice games is 2 are really obvious, and then your third one's really hard to choose.
And we won't get into it now, but one thing I want to know is, do units, can they count for more than one secondary? So like
the same unit get 2
well,
things.
if you take Bring It Down, that's like kill big stuff, right? You get points if it has under 10 wounds, or 2 points, and if it's over 10 you get 3. So would that work with No Mercy No Respite as well? If you chose Thin Their Ranks, would those tanks count for 1 point here and 3 points here? I'm sure it's in there. We just haven't read it yet.
It's not right here. I just read this.
Right.
This just tells you can get 15 from each, and then you can only take 1 from each section. I would say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of on your opponent to build a list that doesn't give you multiple things. And for those expert ITC players, that's kind of how you used to build your list. It's like you don't want to give up so many secondaries.
Right.
So then, if you don't want to worry about your enemy and you just want to focus on your own movement phase, you got this. You got Battlefield Supremacy. If you have lots of units like Space Marines and you just want to like put banners on objectives, or like one is you have to be within 6 of the center of the battlefield and do an action, which almost sounds like suicide because you can't do anything and you're right in the middle of the battlefield.
You have to have some supreme board control.
But it gives you 3 victory points every time you do it. So it adds up. This one gives you 5, but you have to be in your opponent's deployment zone doing an action. Yeah. So these are like very hard, I think. Maybe things will start coming out that makes it a little easier to do those, but these sound very, very difficult. Warpcraft, there's 2 different spells that you just pop the spell. They're really easy to do. One's a warp charge 4 and one's a warp charge 3, but you have to be close to another character,
like within 18.
Yeah.
You don't have to see them. It's just within 18.
And a lot of the armies that excel at casting spells have guys that can cast 2 or even 3 spells, and it shuts down your whole psychic phase with that character.
Yeah, so, again, this would be one where you'd build your army to do it, probably.
Noah tried it once and with Tigurius, and every time he had the opportunity to do this, he was like, oh, I'd much rather do Null Zone.
Yeah, my spells.
Yeah, so I don't know about these, but if you play against Thousand Suns or Grey Knights, Abhor the Witch is going to be essential. You just get points for killing enemy psychers.
I think you have to have no psychers in your army as well.
5 points at the end of the battle for each enemy psyker that is destroyed, and 3 points. 3 points for every other enemy psyker that is destroyed, and you cannot select it if you have any psychers. So that's going to be situational, but like,
if you're not running psychers anyway, and like you said, you run up against even a Tyranid list is probably going to have a lot of psychers.
Admech, Tau, Necrons, Drakari. There's a lot of armies with no psychers, so they're going to be ready to play that one.
I think that's actually it.
That's
for
it.
Secondaries. There are mission-specific ones.
Each mission has one, which honestly I've taken that in each time we've done practice games, because like I said, picking your third one's actually pretty hard depending on how your list is built. Like a lot of times I'll take attrition. It's just kill more units of your opponent than of yours that are killed, and you get 4 per turn. And then you take like assassinate, 3 for each enemy character dead. But then I'm just like crickets. Like I have no idea what to pick for the third one.
Yeah, the kill stuff is pretty obvious because you want to kill stuff anyway.
Noah is great at Linebreaker with like his Ultramarines, because they even just the drop pod counts as 1.
Yeah,
so
just throw a drop pod in there. And
at first I'm like, oh, Linebreaker, 4 points, done. But you have to have 2 units in their deployment zone.
And you have to do it, if you want to score all 15, you have to do it for 4 turns.
Yeah, very hard.
3 turns is pretty worth it, though. If you can get 12 points, that's...
A lot of fast armies, I'm reading out there, are going to take engage on all fronts, which is you get 2 points if you're in 3 table quarters and 3 if you're in all 4. But if you do the math, you have to be in all 4 every turn of the game to max this out.
Yeah, because it turns into, or games end at 5
it's just
now.
5, yeah. Smaller board, better combat buffs, and only 5 turns should speed the game up a lot.
Yeah.
Because a lot of games, if you were both good at combat, you'd kind of get bogged down in the middle, and it can actually make the game take longer than when you do shooty armies. Those are always our fastest games, like AdMech versus Imperial Knights. It's always really fast. But I've heard a lot of whispers that all the new codexes are going to come with like 3 of their own.
Right, I'm sure. Why wouldn't they?
Or even just 1 would be great. Like 1 specific to Space Wolves. You know, something like to kill an enemy character in combat, you get 6 points, something like that.
Right.
So, pretty exciting. It's the number one thing we were excited about is they basically hired all the ITC guys and said, make this for GW.
Balance our game a little, please.
These deployment zones look great.
And they finally give you distances and measurements on everything, even the infamous diagonal.
Ugh.
So
yeah, there's always like one guy at each tournament that knew the
right, it's like 22 and a half and 14 and a half. That's something really silly.
These objectives look awesome. Look at this one.
And these are all those small games, though.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah, combat patrols. So 500-point games.
I mean,
1, 2, and 3.
You could play a bigger one on that. It's just probably balanced for smaller.
Right.
Like the secondary objectives are probably way too easy if you have a big one or something like that.
And then this is the first one for 1,000-point games. That looks pretty standard, but yeah, everything's a little closer just because the board's smaller.
Yeah.
And I mean, these are only 9. Yeah. Wow. Weird.
Hey, we've had some of you guys in the comments asking for quicker games.
Oh, look, they didn't.
Do a
they didn't give you diagonal measurements.
No. Poor form, GW.
Yeah, shame on you.
I'm sure we could. We'll figure it out eventually. Someone will post.
Well, it's just corner to corner. I mean,
hey, chime off in the comments if you know the measurements of the new board size diagonal.
Right. Well, it's the whole edge. So this one's a little easy. Just making that line. Ugh,
yeah.
I hate that.
Just gotta make sure you're 24 apart, I guess.
Right.
So incursion.
Yeah, this
1,000.
is 4 or 5. We'll have one more. So this is the 1,000
These
pointers.
are just wacky.
Yeah, they're very precise, but they're weird.
I like that one. 6 objectives.
Yeah, that one's cool.
What we're used to for Maelstrom.
There's the last incursion.
Yeah, so it looks like they're gonna have really cool missions for smaller games. We're gonna have to do some.
Oh yeah, we should definitely stick to some 1,000-point incursion games.
There it is. First Eternal War Strike Force.
This is the one you'll see at tournaments all the time because 2,000 points is pretty standard. Okay.
And if you like to play 1,500, I still recommend these over the smaller.
Yeah, bigger board, all that good stuff.
I like the layout, so that layout looks awesome.
That's cool. This one has 5 objectives, so it's nice.
There it is.
I love this one. Okay, so they did do it on this one. Okay, the one you needed on.
GW.
I thought they did. So yeah, this one's cool because I'm pretty sure the secondary is if you do an action on an objective, you score like 1 for every objective you hold.
That's right.
It's like, so you can just score 5 real quick.
Look at this crazy one.
Yeah, that's for the 3,000 point games.
Oh, okay, because I was like, you're only 12 inches apart.
Right.
Or no, that little line is 12 inches.
It's 24, but you can get in the corner.
Because the board is gigantic. Okay.
You're closer still on those corners.
Yep.
And then 2 more missions.
For the 3,000 points.
Yeah, for the games you won't play a ton.
Or some of you will. There's some definite narrative play.
Narrative
People are
solid.
real excited about.
So Crusade.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a video about that because it gets super in depth. It seems really fun. It's kind of like they finally made a narrative mode where your characters get better. They can do
Crusade cards. They must have PDFs to download.
Yeah, and like there's
requisition points.
Yeah, you get to customize your force.
We'll definitely have a multi-part Crusade.
Oh,
we got to do it. It's gonna be awesome.
your requisition stuff. So RP, not CP. Get you, warlord traits. You get a relic. Increase your supply limit.
Rearm and resupply. I like
fresh recruits. Yeah. I mean, who knows? You might have to do that stuff. Who knows how this works?
Battle traits.
Yeah. So this will be like all your upgrades. That's pretty cool. Weapon enhancements.
Man, they went all out. This is already like 15 pages.
Psychic fortitude. Yeah. Crusade relics. Just for the crusade. You probably can't bring these.
Yeah, legendary relics. A Vox grenade. This is the holy hand grenade from
oh yeah,
Monty Python. Wow.
And then out of action you can like get knocked out and you might be able to die. Who knows?
So if you've ever been fans of like RPGs or RPG video games, you'll be able to...
Yeah, you can get permanent damage.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Battle scars. Selecting your crusade army, the appendix. Okay, here you are. So I'm really hoping they have this for the scoring sheet.
Yeah. Luckily, my wife is a teacher, so I'm going to be photocopying and laminating all this stuff so we can use dry erase markers on it.
Lots of bugs.
Great artwork.
So there's a quick mission pack. Okay.
I'm very happy to see that the artwork is not cartoonish like they kept showing on their website for a while.
Yeah. Okay, here's the crusade missions. Yeah, I was not excited about that. So you got a bunch of crusade. It looks like that's going to round out the book. Crusade, and then the rules appendix.
Charian gets one page.
There's your blast weapon. Basically everything you thought it was.
There should be a page for the flyers too, or airborne units too, right?
Yeah, this will be where they designate rare rules.
Small list.
Yeah, probably what, like 30 or so.
I wonder if they'll be able to bring back... I mean, you don't want... There was one big, at the beginning of 8th when people were bringing like 8 flyers. We don't want to see that, but I think a couple flyers on the table is a lot of fun.
Wow, they really went all out.
Glossary.
It's just defining all the words they use, and then these are a bunch of technicalities. Okay.
So, if you are brand new to Warhammer, this is a lot to soak in.
It's intimidating.
Watch some battle reports, maybe some real chill battle reports with 2 guys who just drink beer and roll dice. But watch other people's battle reports too. Watch some battle reports, that helps out a lot. Play a 500-point game.
Read the rules a few times if you can.
For all you long-term players, even if you've never played tournaments, I promise the secondaries are quick to pick up and you'll end up loving them.
Yeah, it makes the game feel more like you're kind of in control. You're deciding what your army's trying to do or what they're good at. It can actually add like a fluffy narrative
I
element
think it's super fluffy.
to list building.
And the other thing is you don't necessarily have to worry about how many objectives you're grabbing. It's just you get 5 for one objective, you get 10 points for 2 objectives, and then you get 15 points if you have more objectives than your opponent. So the objectives don't even necessarily need numbers on them anymore.
Right.
You're just getting as many as you can. It does not. And honestly, if you have 3 and your opponent has 1, you don't even have to try to get a 4th one because you're just trying to have more than your opponent.
Right.
Really, you could just have 2 if your opponent has 1, and you'll get 15 points.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. So, 10 out of 10. Knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, well done.
I wasn't even necessarily thinking of using all these Necron units in my main Necron list, but I might. They just look so great. I mean,
yeah.
I love Immortals because they're the cheapest troop choice, but now that objectives are so important, I'll probably end up painting up these warriors.
Yeah.
Grab more objectives.
I definitely have some extras in my box. I'm going to be picking just a few Space Marine units.
So, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
We're going to get this assembled as fast as we can. I got a quick method for painting up Necrons, so it shouldn't be too long until we see at least some of these cool characters on the field.
Yeah, we'll see about the Space Marines.
Space Marines, start with that blue spray.
Yeah, I need to find some.
If you want to donate any of the wolves, I can paint those pretty fast.
Yeah, the Assault Intercessors would look good.
Running with Ragnar.
Mm-hmm.
So, next on the docket after this, we are just going to be fast and the furious with battle reports, but also going through this, I think we've decided we should go through some terrain and go through some crusade rules.
Yeah, and we need to learn it too.
Exactly. So we'll learn with you guys. And maybe that first battle report we do can be a learning 9th edition battle report on the fly with us. So,
right.
Noah, thanks for helping me do this unboxing.
Yeah, it was exciting. New plastic.
Yeah, we each got a box. We are excited children.
I'm gonna go read all night.
Yes.
And all day and all night.
I know a lot of other channels already have a bunch of content out, but thank you for sticking with us. We're gonna keep bringing our laid back content and
oh yeah, we'll get
chill vibes,
some games very quickly.
But yes, beer and bat reps. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Enjoy.
Until next time.